This is too shallow for a grave and it's a little tight, but it's perfect for a footing for a house. They say an eco-friendly house can't be built in 150 days for $150,000, and I say it can. I'm Alan Smith. Join me as I push the limits with time, budget, and creativity with the Garden Home Challenge, exclusively on ehowhome. So the footings are coming along really well, and we've divided this into two parts. So the back side of the house, the south side of the house, is actually getting the footing first. There'll be two waves of concrete pouring, just easier to manage that way. These footings are basically going to be a foot thick of concrete by 2 feet wide. So this trench, as you can see, is roughly those dimensions. What will happen now is that this rebar, this reinforcing steel, is going to go in there. Now, Tony is cutting these off at the lengths that actually work for each of these segments. So why don't I just jump down here in the trench and show you how this works. So anyway, you take this plastic piece, which is basically a little support, and you take these pieces of rebar, and you got to be real careful because they're sharp on the ends. You just set them in there like that, and they lock in. And what it does is it keeps that metal suspended in the concrete, because what we're trying to do is reinforce the concrete so it doesn't crack. This adds a lot of stabilization to the foundation. We don't want the house shifting. And ultimately what we're going to have is an entire footprint that surrounds the entire house that'll be a monolithic slab connected with this metal that's buried in the concrete and then the concrete itself. So that'll give us a really strong foundation. When you build a house, you want to make sure you've got the best foundation you can have, otherwise you're going to have problems in years to come. One of the things I'm real proud of here is Tony has dug these trenches out beautifully, and he used the backhoe on our tractor to dig it out, so it's really tight, which is good. And it means we're not wasting a lot of concrete, you see. So every step along the way, we got to make sure that we're conserving materials. And what they did is then they cleaned it up just a little bit with a shovel. But you can see that we didn't really run into as much rock, so that's a real plus. All right, so it's getting exciting. You can see that this thing looks like an archaeological dig right now, but actually we got a house coming up out of the ground. If you're enjoying following our progress, tell a friend about it, and make sure you subscribe to ehowhome.